They are YouTube and, well, every social media platform sensations. Diamond and Silk. Ladies, you better work. That's it? That's all I got? That was a major intro, and all you got is a giggle for me?
No, I'm just listening to you, and I'm just like tickled, that's all. I hope your day is going so well, because mine is.
But you know what, ladies? These days, you got to laugh whenever you get the opportunity. But can you imagine what happened this weekend? Can you imagine being Sarah Huckabee Sanders, just going out for a nice, civilized dinner, and what she had to deal with there, the hatred that's out there? I'd love to hear your reaction.
Oh, my God, it's so sad, but I want you to keep in mind, this is what the Democratic Party, this is what the left-leaning do. Mm-hmm. What they do is they try to intimidate, manipulate in order to dominate. It wasn't just that long ago where black people could not sit at a lunch counter and have a meal because of these left-leaning liberals who happen to be Democrats. And now, fast forward, we're in 2018, and somebody like Sarah Huckabee cannot sit at a table with her family and have a meal without left-leaning liberals trying to intimidate and manipulate. And it's so sad, but I'm so happy that people get to see the hypocrisy of the left, the hypocrisy of these left-leaning liberals, and even the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party, how they are the true racists of this country and how they operate.
Yeah, ladies, I agree, and it is good. Listen, it's better to at least know where they stand. This is part of the conversation I had yesterday with our listeners was, are you just happy that they're not pretending anymore? Now, we've always known they hate us. Now at least they're just letting it show, and now we know where we stand. I mean, in a way, that's kind of liberating.
Absolutely, that's right. We've been saying it for months, for years now, because we've been talking since 2015 about the Democratic Party. But when you have them come out and just be bold and come up to you and tell you, no, you can't eat at this table. See, they told black folks back in the day you couldn't eat at the lunch counter. These were left-leaning liberals, the people that was okay with the KKK, the party that was okay with putting Jim Crow days in place so people can suffer. See, this is what these people do, and they would do it to anybody that don't go along with their liberal ideology. Right. And you have to stop them. Stop them where they stand, baby. Don't fall like paper, but stop them and call them out.
Now, listen, I was angry about this, and I felt, and mostly I just felt really bad for Sarah Huckabee Sanders as a human being and any other human being that has to deal with this. When I got angry, Diamond and Silk, was when I heard this.
And I want to tell you, for these members of his cabinet who remain and try to defend him, they're not going to be able to go to a restaurant. They're not going to be able to stop at a gas station. They're not going to be able to shop at a department store. The people are going to turn on them. They're going to protest. They're going to absolutely harass them until they decide that they're going to tell the president, no, I can't hang with you. This is wrong. This is unconscionable. We can't keep doing this to children.
That Maxine Waters is a hero to many of the Democrats, majority of the Democrats, Diamond and Silk. What's your reaction to her, an elected official, spouting off like that?
But see, you know that she is the gatekeeper of the Democrat Party. She's one of them, and she is the one that wants you to think in the inside of a box. And this is what they do. Right. They will take and criticize, stigmatize, ostracize you. They want to do these kind of things to you in this here country. And you know what? We call that domestic terrorism. Exactly. Whenever you are a congresswoman, you represent Americans, and you telling Americans to go out and terrorize other Americans, harass other Americans, that makes you a domestic terrorist, is what it does.
Now, ladies, you are with, I want to pace myself here because there's so much to get to, and every moment is golden. You are with me for the rest of the half hour, right? I don't need to speed this up.
Yes, we're with you for the rest of the half hour. Mm-hmm.
That is very exciting to me because I always have a very specific question for Silk that I must get an illumination. What are we drinking tonight, Silk?
We're still doing a little sipping on a little something.
Got a little, is it now? Is it
a peach margarita?
Oh, a peach margarita. So you're going for? Well, it's summertime, so you got to go with the peaches.
Right now, that's tonight. Now, just
later. Oh, of course, not right now. No, you're broadcasting right now. You can't do that. All right. So listen, the president, we've been talking about this half hour, a huge victory for President Trump on the travel ban. This is something that, of course, even from the campaign when he suggested the travel ban for national security, people were saying, of course, all the usual racist, anti-Islamic, xenophobic, nationalist, all the things. But the Constitution won today, and so did your president. What do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely love that, because what the president is trying to do is protect America and the American people. Mm-hmm. But when you listen to the left, they're trying to say that this is discrimination. This is discrimination against Muslims and all kinds of people, and that is just not true. The president's job is to keep the American people safe.
That's right.
Not open up our borders and let people come in here or let people overstay their visas. We don't know who's walking amongst us, and somebody can commit a terrorist act. So it is his job to make sure that America and the American people safe. So this is a win-win for the president, and I'm so happy that the Supreme Court ruled in his favor.
That's right.
Well, and I also think it has a broader message in terms of what we see going down at the border, because it's two sides of the same coin here, Diamond and Silk. The president also has a responsibility and a right to control our borders, but look at how the media has been covering this whole family separation issue.
Oh, yes. But can I say this here, though?
Yeah.
You look at how the left-wing media took and they spin the narrative about family and children separation, but they're unconcerned about the American children and parent separation. They say that those children are living horrible down there at the border. Well, what about the American children that's living in tents, that's living in homes, that don't get 3 meals and sleeping on a mattress, or they ain't even sleeping on a mattress? Mm-hmm. What about that? Because we were able to visit the inner city of Detroit, and we didn't like what we saw. So you have about 2.5 million children that goes hungry in this country. Yet we're worried about people, illegal aliens that crosses our border, and how making sure those families stay together. What about the crime bill?
That's right.
That Bill Clinton signed into law that separated families. Nobody talks about it when it comes to the American people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are always so concerned about everybody on the outside. And let me just say this here. I am sorry that things are going on in these people's country, but what they're going to have to do, they're going to have to stand up and fight for those rights in their own country.
That's right.
Because we can't give what we don't have, and we cannot take care of the world when we have children that don't have what they need over here in America.
And we also understand that President Trump signed an executive order to keep parents and children together when they're being processed. But when American people commit a crime, they cannot have their children there with them. Their children's going to go into a foster care, and it's going to be a family member that got to come and pick that particular child up. So please, if you cross that border and you're trying to find safety over here, do it the right legal way.
That's right.
That's what you do.
And don't get mad at the president, because this law was put in place I think up under Bill Clinton, and then Obama followed the same law. I heard nothing from the left, nothing from nobody on the left. Now all of a sudden they want to blame president for this. Don't blame our President Trump for this. Don't blame him for this.
That's right.
All right, Diamond and Silk, stay with us. You know what? I haven't talked to you about this whole Joy Reid thing. You have a thing or two to say about Joy Reid, don't you?
Well, if you ask me a question, I'll surely answer.
All right, I can't wait for that. All right, so Diamond and Silk on Joy Reid, and well, whatever else we might want to ask in a moment.
Okay.
544 on WMA. Why don't you have your own talk show at this point? I mean, why isn't Netflix or Amazon Prime or Hulu reaching out and saying, Diamond and Silk, come on, we'll give you the set, we'll get an audience in there, let's get a show going. How's business?
Well, you know that's the left leaning. You know they don't want to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we do have a movie coming out called Democrats.
Democrats. Right. Make sure you all go. It's going to be hopefully in the theater near you. It's called Democrats. We are exposing some of these Democrats.
Hold on.
We know that the president is draining.
Hold on.
Now we can expose it.
Hold the phone. Shut the front door. Diamond and Silk, you have a movie. You have produced this. You are starring in it. It is the Diamond and Silk film called Dummycrats.
We're starring in it. It's called Dummycrats. The American Mirror presents Dummycrats.
Well, that's
we are starring in it. And what we're doing is we are showing the hypocrisy. We are talking to real people. We are talking to African Americans who don't even have a clue as to who's representing them and how they're being represented. So what we're doing, we know that the president is draining the swamp. What we're doing is exposing it. And then, because we know that it's hard to drain the swamp when you have rats clogging the pipe.
That's right.
So that's why you have to expose it so people know what's going on.
Hold on. Now, when is this due out, this film?
This is due out this fall. fall. It's
This
going to be
fall.
right before the election.
Dude,
Once
all
again,
right.
If you go to Democratsthemovie.com, put in your email address, we'll keep you updated and informed.
Yeah.
Forget about keeping. This is your friend Larry here up in wide. We need to have
got
our.
you covered.
We need a screening. We need to invite WMAL Larry O'Connor Show listeners to the screening. We need to do a
Oh, yeah.
contest so they get to the screening. I think we could supply some alcoholic beverages for the evening as well. I think we need to do a.
No, darling.
I'm ready. I'll do a half hour with Diamond and Silk live, and then we'll watch the movie, and then we'll do questions. I'm already setting up the whole event. You're coming up.
Oh, my God.
You're coming to town. We're doing this. We're doing this. I'm right now. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on to Joy Reid. So you saw this thing. Joy Reid had all this really ugly stuff on her blog from
Right.
years ago, right? Then she said she got hacked and called the FBI, and this is horrible. It's a federal crime. And then suddenly she says, well, I guess I didn't get hacked. I can't believe that was me writing it. The Diamond and Silk, she still has a job on NBC News.
Wow. Well, that's what happens. That's
Yeah.
just how it happened. First of all, I think people would have appreciated if she just would have came clean and tell the truth instead of lying. And the truth is what's going to set you free. And if you had that way of thinking back then be honest about the way you thought back then. And you could have just told the public, well, you know what, but I've changed from that.
Yeah.
But she tried to lie. She tried to cover up. But you see the hypocrisy. Yes, she do still have a job. Now, had that been a Republican or somebody that leaned to the right and they would have had a show, then they would have been taken down immediately.
Oh, forget
that
about
would have
it.
been the end of
Yeah.
it.
Is it true that you have suggested that Joy Reid looks like a man with a wig?
No, we didn't
No, we didn't
suggest
do
that
that.
at
Wait
all.
a minute. Hold up. So let me just tell you, for some reason,
Right.
I think that people like Joy Reid and the April Ryans, they try to use us, and the Roland Martins, they try to use us as a punching bag,
Right.
and think that they can say the most damnable, insulting things to
Derogatory
us.
things.
Yeah.
And what she did was she was on national television and she said the most damnable and nasty things towards Diamond and Silk and called us out of our name. And so we put out a tweet and we said, we don't take and when people say that, when people tell us that she looks like a man in a dress, we don't go along with
A man
that.
in a wig.
Yeah.
A man in a wig. We don't go along with that.
No.
Right.
Oh, I see.
don't go along with
see, that's that. Thank you for clearing that up and, and giving us context on that. All you're saying is that when people tell you that Joy Reid looks like a man in a wig, you don't go along with that.
No, we don't.
Good.
go along
Well,
with
there you go.
anything
Nor
else
should you.
being disrespected. As a
That's
matter of fact,
right.
Because she was a journalist, we've never disrespected, never said anything bad about her.
No.
But when she got on national TV and she said something horrible about us,
That's awful.
we was like, wait a minute, Joy.
right.
People have came up to us and said the most damnable, derogatory things about you looking like a man in a wig. We've never went along with that.
You know what's weird is Roland Martin also looks like a man in a wig. Hey, ladies, thanks for joining us, and we can't wait. We're going to make this movie thing happen. And don't forget, DiamondandSilkInc.com, and follow them on Twitter, Facebook. Love you, ladies.
Love you
We
more.
love you more.